Everyone plays Warcraft for their own reasons, to level, to PvP, even just to fish. There's something for everyone. But sometimes the prospect of annoying someone, wasting their time, ruining their evening, making them quit the game they love because of your actions. There is no equal level of satisfaction you can get when trolling people in the world of Warcraft.
It's that guy again! Who is this? This is the guy that kept killing us last night after you went to bed. Oh my god! He killed Kenny!
And what's more, there's just so many different ways to troll people that it becomes a game mode in itself, alongside doing quests or doing dungeons. And I wanted to get some stories to be shared from the people I know who've played Warcraft back in the day, to see if they have their own examples of trolling people. And well, I got more than I expected. More on that later in the video. But for me, my trolling was fairly standard, but very consistent. I feel that trolling people in WoW isn't about killing them over and over, which is still fun, but it's all about wasting their time. In 2019 Classic release, I played a priest, and if given the chance I would always mind control people off the boats, off cliffs, into elite mobs, at the big lifts in Thousand Needles. It never ceased to amuse me. For me, mind controlling people off the boats is peak trolling. You don't kill anyone, but you've successfully wasted about 5 minutes of somebody's evening. And of course, who hasn't killed low levels in Hillsbrad Foothills or Red Ridge Mountains, as low level players just go about their business. And what I see a lot of people say when this sort of thing happens, they always say, "He must have no life. They must be a loser to spend their time doing that." I can't believe they're ruining the game for somebody else. Now seeing this makes me laugh even more, but hear me out in this one. Ganking low levels specifically, it makes the world seem more real and dangerous. Here you are, just minding your own business, and all of a sudden, you see in the general chat someone says, "Look out, there's a level 60 killing everyone." This makes you on edge. The world has become more dangerous. You know now that you are prey, and you need to consider moving on to a new zone, or you will be next. So in a way, ganking low levels is, ironically, a way to bring life into the pretend world of Azeroth. Now you may think this is pure cope and excusing bad behaviour, but somebody has to do it. And I'm willing to be the one to take the hit and be the one to kill low level players who are probably better than me at the game, but due to a sheer power imbalance, it doesn't matter. You're getting one-shotted, you're getting deleted, you're running back from the graveyard. I'm going to ruin your evening. This is literally me when I one-shot your level 22 priest. Now let's move on to everybody's favourite form of trolling, ninja looting. I'm sure we've all done some form of ninja looting in the past. I've needed of several items and told the group that it was for my off-spec, but when I really had the item already. But if I got the item again, I could just render this for gold, which I needed. And another time that stands out, I was running Scarlet Monastery, and the druid I was with said that they needed the Hands of Righteousness, a mace that gives healing power. Now way back in the day I played a mage only up to like level 50. But when this dropped, when I was playing on my mage with this druid, the item seemed pretty good and I wanted it. So I needed it, and I won it. But only then realised that 1. Mages cannot use maces, and 2. Healing power does not mean spell power. The druid was not pleased that I was taking his item, an item that I couldn't even use, and our Warcraft friendship was shattered forever. This is pretty minor ninja looting in the grand scheme of things, so I reached out to some people to share with me their own exploits in a handful of voice notes.
In Warcraft itself, I mean, I did my fair share of ninja looting in public dungeon groups. You know, I think it's interesting. I think it really is, as you mature a bit in the game, you don't really want to do that stuff as much. But definitely when you're a bit younger, you're just like an absolute menace. I've definitely just like left dungeon groups, been super antisocial on that game, like went AFK. There's always like one player, it'll be like a group of 5, then there'll just be one other player that's got beef with you, and then you guys just keep arguing with each other, and then you up the ante eventually, and you keep doing it until someone does something. And, you know, I took satisfaction from it. I just thought it was fun. It just gave me a buzz, a rush. Like if people were being annoying to me, it was just my way to spite them and just get revenge from them. You know, and they do say revenge is the sweetest thing. So if there was ever some guy being really dislikable or annoying in a group, and especially if he was talking dirt on me, I would always make sure to ninja loot him. And you would sometimes get some really funny moments. Like sometimes it wouldn't work and it would fall flat. all depended on the day, but sometimes you try and ninja loot someone and it wouldn't work, and it'd be quite early on into the dungeon, and then you just get kicked, and it would fall flat. It wouldn't be very funny. But sometimes, if you're really lucky, it would be someone who'd been like winding you up the whole time, and then you would just like ninja them at the very end and get their thing and leave and just laugh in their face. It was great.
I haven't really ninja looted in a very long time, but when I was a kid back in original Wrath of the Lich King, me and my friend Taosu, we would run Nax 25 pugs, and we would just straight up ninja everything that dropped off KT. Most of the time we would like hold all the loot until the end, and we would go to like the overall on the damage meters, and like the 5 lowest people would just be loot banned, and then we would have like other things, like if you died to a mechanic, we'd put the name down and we'd loot ban that guy. And so like and we would just like invite the most shitty players from trade chat. So by the end of the raid, like literally nobody was getting loot. And it's funny because we didn't like specify many of the rules before we started the raid. Like we had some rules and shit that were clear, like yeah, top 5 lowest don't get loot, you die on this boss or that boss to this mechanic or that mechanic, you don't get loot. But then we would just like add random shit, like random reasons, like oh, you didn't use a potion on this boss, okay, no loot. But yeah, we were menaces on that server. It was on Gurubashi Horde side, if anyone remembers us. We had like multiple characters and multiple names, and then after we did it for so long, people like caught on to all our multiple alts, and they were like spamming trade chat like all of our alts names and like all caps, like beware of these ninjas. Like everyone was so pissed. So fucking funny. I remember it fondly. It was a lot of fun.
Ninja looting to me will never not be funny, and there's some timeless videos on YouTube which will live on forever because of this very fact.
But whatever you guys want, I don't care. It's not the end of the world.
I think they were hoping that we'd just be like, let's roll.
No.
No, it's not.
I hate rolls.
I've lost. So do I. I'll roll the 2.
Hachi?
He ninja.
What the
I got a video of it.
Hachi?
Oh,
gotta be
what
kidding
the
Get a GM ticket this instant.
It was on
Raw.
it was on free for all.
The boss, yeah, for the boss kill.
God damn it!
He got geared at the NS too.
Hachi, what the dude? You're still in here, you piece.
And there is some other forms of trolling that I've never done, but I'm very aware of, like the cash on demand scamming, where you send mail to somebody, but for them to open it, they need to accept the charge you set. It's kind of like phishing. You might get someone who eventually bites by accepting it, by making a mistake, and in turn, you make a few gold.
What the heck? You shit. Oh my god.
Well, one of my favourites way back in the day is people pretending to be game masters, and this is really funny when you're 12 or 13 years old.
I remember actually getting banned on WoW for 2 days for telling someone that, you know, oh, my uncle works for Blizzard, he's gonna fire you or something. I mean, I was definitely joking, but the guy just reported me anyway, and it was like impersonation of moderator. And it was actually a weekend event where it was me, my brother, and his friend, and we all got together to play the game. And then I'd just been banned, so we couldn't play it anymore. So we had to resort to just playing like flash games together, and I was really disappointed in myself. I was really angry that someone reported me for it.
And finally for me and my trolling exploits, being a paladin, which is what I played most in the early days of Warcraft, deciding to pull a boss or a dungeon mob only then to bubble to make myself immune, and hearth out to teleport away from the dungeon and leave the party to the demise of my actions. That was a favourite trick I would play from time to time. It was great times. However, when getting some voice notes from people who play Warcraft, I got a bit more than I bargained for when trying to get examples of trolling. And there's a dark triad concept in Warcraft that I'm sure you're aware of, and that's pretending to be a girl. While pretending to be a girl is popular in modern culture now, this notion has always existed in the world of Warcraft. And from my understanding, this is tried to get more loot, maybe take advantage of some low testosterone men, have them send you items, have them send you gold, and just generally be nicer to you. But this isn't always the case.
I wouldn't really say I'm gaining much from pretending to be a girl on WoW. It's kind of funny because the reason people do it is because they want loot and shit. Because people like prio loot usually to girls and shit because everyone's like horny. But I don't really need to pretend to be a girl to get loot because I fucking own. Like I usually gap all the other warriors in raid. Never had like a problem getting loot proud to me. I kind of just wanted to see if I could pull it off pretending to be a girl. So far it's been pretty good, but I have like 5 or 6 friends in my guild all backing up my story that I'm a girl, like claiming that they know me IRL. I'm constantly getting like officers and the GM flirting with me in DMs and shit. Random guild members flirting with me in guild chat. People hitting on me. One of the fucking officers in my guild actually was saying that he was gonna like straight up in guild chat just talking shit like that. Like like how horny and retarded are these people? I don't have a voice changer or anything either, so it's kind of funny. Like I've never talked in Discord, and they haven't really like asked me anything about like, hey, why don't you talk, or like they haven't asked me to talk so that I could prove that I'm a girl or anything. It's really weird. They're just buying it. But honestly, I'm kind of over it. Like, I feel like I'm kind of in too deep. I recently got one of my IRL friends kicked out of my guild because so the story is that we dated, and in my RP, I'm 19 years old. My friend's like 31, and he has a wife and kids, and so they like started to like question that. How did you guys date if he has a wife and kids? I'm like, oh, it wasn't fair. I said that we met 5 years ago, and I would have been 14, and they're like, oh, we gotta kick him out. So me pretending to be a girl originally started with me losing a bet, but it kind of just started to get quickly out of hand. And yeah, like I said earlier, I'm just in way too deep now. I gotta find a way to like pull out. I'm not sure how.
You know that trolling has gone way too far when you don't even know why you do it anymore, and stopping it will have more negative consequences than continuing it. But these are self-inflicted battles I'm sure this guy will overcome in time. But let's bring this back to the art of trolling. If you can put one hand on your heart and say you've never done any form of trolling we've mentioned in this video during your time in the world of Warcraft, well, let me tell you, you are missing out. This is like playing a mage and never casting Frostbolt. This is an integral aspect of the game that you're missing out on. So next time you're playing, do yourself a favour, try get your whole group killed and blame someone else for it. Don't comply with death rolling honour rules, or perhaps just ruin somebody's evening by wasting 20 to 30 minutes of their time. I believe in life. You're either ganking someone or you're being ganked by someone. So which would you rather be? So comment below with your tales of trolling. I'm sure there's way more ways to pull this off that I've missed, as I'm sure there's hundreds of ways to scam people in this game that I've never tried or really wanted to do. So I'm very interested to hear what you have to say with your own exploits in this 20-year-old game. And finally, what I'll mention at the end, this channel's hit 500 subs, so we're almost to 1,000. I have no idea what sort of video's coming next. I think it's going to be something completely different, so you're just going to have to wait and see. If you're not subscribed and like the videos, please do the thing the algorithm likes. I get a dopamine rush every time I get a new sub, so keep that high going for me.